Everyone, James Green with EFI coming to you live again, talking more about some fiery features, um, whether you know you have them or not. What I really want to show you today is a product that's called Fiery VUE, VUE. This is a free desktop application that anyone who has a Fiery controller can use. And it's not something you have to sell, not something you have to buy. But if you have a Fiery controller, it's a application that you can download and use. So where this really fits, there's no one in particular place where it fits, but I'm going to just give you an idea of where it could fit. So one of the biggest struggles with printing in the office environment is most office printing is done through a file print methodology, which means, if I need to print something, I need to open the file. I gotta say file print. I gotta pick my printer, and then from that print driver, I've got to go through the advanced features or the properties, and I gotta pick all the things that I need to pick in order for this thing to print correctly. So that's things like media, orientation, two-sided, one-sided. God forbid I'm doing a booklet, and now I got to figure out how to paginate the book using the booklet feature. These are all things that are not difficult to do, but done repetitively, incurs a lot of steps. I mean, I just mentioned to you, file print, open it, pick your printer, open the properties. It's 8 or 9 steps just to get a stupid printout, all right? So in the office environment, that happens a lot. And sometimes in the office environment, users get asked to print something that is more complex than just a single page. And maybe, let's say it's complex to the point where I've got to pull 2 or 3 pages out of a 20-page document. I got to pull 2 or 3 pages out of a Word document. I got to pull 4 or 5 pages out of a PowerPoint and 2 or 3 pages out of an Excel. And that's going to be combined to make one final document that needs to be printed as a part of an overall document. Well, if you've ever had to do that before, and if you're a real typical office user who does not have Adobe Pro, if you had Adobe Pro, you could extract the pages out of each one of those applications, import it into one PDF, and then print the PDF. Well, typical office users do not have Adobe Pro. So what they would have to do is go to each application, open the file, pick the pages they want to print those pages individually for each file, and then combine those pages as a final document. And then, God forbid, now they've got to make multiples of those. Really highly complex, time-consuming, and confusing. Fiery VUE is an application that can simplify all of that and give the customer a visual of actually what they're going to print. So let me show you what Fiery VUE does. So I'm going to launch Fiery VUE. Now mine's already set up. I'm already connected to a Fiery. I can tell because I got a green check mark over here, which shows me the Fieries I'm connected to. But basically, when you open the application, there's a couple different ways you can get started. I can click here and say Add Files, or I could just say, New, or Add File. All right. Either way, it gets me to the same place, which really is me going through my file system and picking files that I want to bring in here to work with. Now I'm just going to give you an example of one just to make this simple. All right. So here's all the pages that are in this file. Immediately what Fiery VUE starts doing is it starts showing a layout to the customer. If I was to do nothing but print this right now, and I flip through these pages, it's going to show me how it's going to print. This happens to be a 2-sided. All right. How cool is that? I can't do that with a print driver. All right. If I wanted to turn the 2 sides off, disable that, you see my view is immediately changed. Now, instead of flipping through the pages, it's a 1-sided document. Okay. I could go over here and say, look, I'm going to make this a booklet, and I'm going to do a ring bind. Again, as I flip through the pages, it shows me that it's a ring bind. I'm going to go back and say, flip on, there we go, and I've got a 2-sided ring bound. Same thing's true if I wanted to do a stitch. I'll show, right, there it is, I'm stitching in the corner. Maybe I want to do a left stitch. There it is, showing me that I'm doing a left stitch. All right. So I could continue laying out this job, putting all the features that I want in here. And then I could even save this as a template. So if I wanted to save this as a template, I could click here and then I'd call it, I don't know, 2-sided side staple booklet. And now, if I have any other jobs that duplicate that same layout, all I have to do when I pull this file in is I go to my templates here and I pick the template that I want to apply to that. And there you go. You can see as I scan through my templates, here's my 3-hole punch, spiral bound. I can see in real time what it's going to look like if I apply that template. So some other things you can do in here, let's say this document that you pulled in, again, the page order is wrong. You can switch to page order right here. I just moved the page, okay? If you wanted to, again, import other files to marry with this, I can do that. Let's do maybe this. I don't know what this is, but we'll find out. Okay, and you see it separates it. It shows you, the different books based on, the file name. And so I can work with these 2 or 3 different files. I can delete pages out of here. If this page right here doesn't belong in this booklet, right, I can just go up here and say edit, delete. Now that page is gone. Maybe I've got multiple pages I want to delete. Bye-bye. Again, so I can build my entire print document right in Fiery VUE. I can attach all of the features that I need to attach to it in my finishing. And then I get a preview what it's going to look like, and then I can save it as a template. But the main thing is when I'm ready to print, I just click print, and I'm not actually attached to a printer here. I'm attached to a Fiery, but not a printer, so it won't give me what I'm looking for. But when you click print, it's now going to come up and ask you, and I can do my copies right here, number of copies I want to do, and this will just send this to the Fiery and print this booklet. So this is extremely powerful in those really low-end user environments where they do some of this, but they don't do it often enough that using a print driver makes a lot of sense, and using a print driver is already very time-consuming. So think about Fiery VUE and how that can make printing simple for some of those environments that you run into. So real quick, Fiery VUE, it's free. You can download it off of VFI.com. If you have a Fiery controller, this application will connect to your Fiery print-driven device, and they can use this instead of a print driver. Thanks, guys. Take care.